I won't say who, just in case it turned out to be legitimate, and then I've spoiled you all. But the for Sonic the Hedgehog 3, the voice actor who's going to be playing a character in that film is apparently been it's rumored right now, but at least by this leaker, apparently it's legit. Now, I personally want any character from the games. I want them to be voiced and have the voice actor reprise their roles, rather than getting celebrities or celebrity actors, etc., to play them and voice them. But unfortunately, we won't be. It can't be avoided. It's going to be some big name. But I'm sure we'll find the details out soon enough, and we'll hear who's going to be voicing that character in the film. I'm really looking forward to it. Some descriptions from the teaser that they showed off at CinemaCon sounded really exciting stuff. And from what we've from the logo and a bit of the music they played during the logo tease, I'm pretty confident we're going to be getting it's going to be inspired by Sonic Adventure 2. And it's possible that this time round we might get Crush 40 music in the film. I think by the fact now that there's already 2 films, a spin-off TV show, and then this 3rd film coming out. There's enough content now where I think they're starting to kind of relax a bit more and open up, rather than being, right, we've got this film on this talking animal and it's based off a game. We need to be careful and cautious. We can't just adapt it one-to-one. We're going to have to put our own things on it to kind of ground it a bit more, or do our own spin. And then I think now they can start like taking stuff from the films, I think, or from the game, sorry, and be a bit more, on point, to be and more, accurate, because they've got their audience now. So I think they can do that. Or in the first place, they could have tried doing some sort of one-to-one thing. I mean, look at Detective Pikachu. Detective Pikachu was, I've barely played the first game, but I know from like trailers and all this and that when I watch the film, it's pretty much one-to-one to the game, for an extent. And supposedly there's a live-action Pokemon series or film coming out to Netflix, I believe. And then there's still a sequel to Detective Pikachu happening, apparently, so... yeah, it's probably going to be a while, but that's still happening. And we still have other video game properties coming out. We've got an Among Us. I think Among Us is an animated series and not a film. We've got the Minecraft live action movie. We've got the another film set in the Super Mario Bros. Universe. They didn't state sequel to Super Mario Bros. They just said another film in the Super Mario Bros. Series. So that could be something separate. It might not be a direct sequel. We also have the live-action Legend of Zelda movie coming out in a couple of years. So, yeah, quite a lot of video games happening. There's also a game called Dredge. I've never played it, and I know probably almost nothing. But they're doing a film on Dredge. Now you're saying that because of that Mario movie announcement and the fact that they didn't state it was a sequel, that they're going to do either Wario or Yoshi's at Yoshi's Island. I think 100% that Yoshi's going to show up in this new film. They showed off a lot of characters in the first film, we did get... I didn't want to defeat Chatot. We did get a tease for Yoshi. So I think Yoshi will definitely appear in this next film. But I am curious as to what they're gonna do. They could introduce Bowser Jr. They could do a Luigi's Mansion film. A Luigi's Mansion film would be fun. But I wonder if Luigi's Mansion is like too niche, like it's not like it's obviously it's big enough that it's had 3 games, but it's whether the general audience would want to watch a Luigi's Mansion film that's just purely Luigi, you know, horror, not horror, but haunted mansion sort of film, because there's next to no Mario in that, and obviously the audience know Mario, would want to see Mario. And I'm not too sure how they could do a full film on Wario. Don't get me wrong, a Wario film would be great, but, you know, I can't really picture like a full film on Wario. I wonder if they'll make an adaptation of the original Yoshi's Island game. Do you think there's enough story content in that for them to make like an hour 20 or an hour and 15 minute film? Wario would be a little strange in a film, not to mention that it'll be sending out a negative message. Wario's main game, Wario Land, is about him pursuing his greedy lust for treasure, and his greed being so powerful he gets what he wants every time. Yeah, don't need I should have switched out. Yeah, Wario film would be him trying to like plan a heist with Waluigi to steal some jewelry from like Bowser's castle, you know, Donkey Kong's hut, the Mushroom Kingdom. It could be him like globe-trotting and stealing treasure from you know, around the you know, the not the Mushroom Kingdom, but around the whole Mario universe. You can't see what you mean. You can't see they're making a story out of micro games. Yeah, that'd be crazy if they somehow could do that. Why have I seen this before? Captain Toad the movie. We didn't get Captain Toad in the film as such, but Captain Toad would be Captain Toad could make you could do a film out of Captain Toad. You know, him trying to like rescue Toadette, or you know, or whatever. That'd be I'm sure that'd be a fun film. I think though, with Nintendo having their foot in and Miyamoto having a big part in the development of these films, it will be a long time before we like another after this next Mario film. It'll be a while before we get like another one. I think they're just going to take the time with it. So unlike Sonic, which is like dishing out a film and spin off like every other year, and one of the producers saying they want it to get to Avengers level, where there's all these big films that tie together in a big cinematic universe. I think Nintendo and Mario were just going to be like, or any Nintendo films, like they're just going to be very careful with what they do. We're not going to get a film every year. So, you know, it's like, we could have a Captain Toad, we could have a Wario film, a Donkey Kong spin-off, Yoshi's Island, but it's not going to happen all at once. There's going to be big gaps between them if we do happen to get all those films. Speaking of Mario, because they already did it in the film, but there could be a animated short on Mario Kart. Like they could do you know, like in the form of almost like Wacky Racers, but Mario Kart. That could include on a DVD or before the film. That'd be really cool to expand on what we got in the film, because that was quite a fun moment. Introduced a new mechanic that should be in the games, like if they went a bit more Mario Road Rage like, where you could attack someone and jump into their car. I don't think you could do it in Crash Bandicoot, but I have this feeling in my head, like this weird, like could be a fake memory, but like I was sure you could do that in one of the Crash Bandicoot games, is that you could take over another vehicle. But I'm probably wrong there. You know what we could have, now that Sonic's got films coming out and we're getting another Mario film? Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games. Get a crossover between the two. I know Sonic's a live action hybrid, so you've got like a CG live action looking like Sonic, and Mario's animated, but you could merge the two together like some sort of like Who Framed Roger Rabbit, Space Jam sort of like, you know, film.